Definitely fun, and I'm glad to feel, the past 12 months you have been enjoying it. You would never, ever in a million years know that this world exists when you board a plane. What have you enjoyed about being a part of, in a sales role?
I think what motivates me is the outcome, knowing you work so hard for an aircraft to go back into the skies.
Their shops, their warehouses, how they're building their engines, and just it's an incredible experience all round. Another day you could be dealing with an AOG situation whereby you need to be packing up parts within 4 to 6 hours. It's very exciting. Like you said, we are supporting these airlines worldwide. Hello, my name is Persia. I'm the Director of Global Sales here at Aeras Aviation. I'm based in Dubai in the United Arab Emirates, which is our headquartered office. In my role, I supply used serviceable materials for all of our airline and MRO customers. I manage the team globally, helping with training and also supplying leads to all of my sales executives. In my role, every single day it's a challenge, but it keeps me on my toes. I've also had the privilege to be working with key operators, MROs, and resellers worldwide. What motivates me during my role is definitely supporting our airline MRO customers with their engine shop visits. I think what's great about working in aviation is the fact that every single day is different. One day you could be flying over to see one of your airline customers, being able to visit their shops, their warehouses, how they're building their engines, and just it's an incredible experience all round. Another day you could be dealing with, an AOG situation whereby you need to be packing up parts, within 4 to 6 hours. And then another day you could be simply doing training workshops with the team. So every day has a lot of diversity. And in the past 8 years that I've been working here, I've never felt bored. If anything, stressed is probably what motivates me every single day. But I think it's amazing to be able to be supporting our airline, MRO, and other reseller customers with everything that they require to be building confidence, trust, and also building our credibility as a company. Aeras Aviation is now 8 years old, and I've been a part of the journey for the past 7.5 years. So I've really seen what the company has become and everything that we've been through, which has been an honor to witness every challenge, every obstacle, every growth, every transition that we've had during this period. And more, we're noticing more women working in the aviation industry. It's a very male-dominated industry, as a lot of other sectors are these days. However, that is changing, and especially within Aeras, there's a lot of women now, which is nice to see. My team is primarily female, and it's good to be kind of encouraging young ladies to be entering the world of work, building their careers, finding their voice, finding their place within, this crazy working world that we have. I would also like to, give the opportunity for one of my sales executives to speak, who is Parisa. She's working with me out of the Dubai office as well. And she's a good example of someone that's just entered aviation in the past year. She's grown, it's new territory, and it would be nice just to kind of get her feedback on what the experience has been for her so far during the past year. So over to you, Parisa.
Hello everyone, my name is Parisa. I'm a sales executive at Aeras Aviation for over a year now. I'm also headquartered in Dubai, in the United Arab Emirates.
Okay, thank you. So how does your day look like? What are you doing day to day in your role as a sales executive?
My day-to-day could look super different than what I planned it to. I could be planning things ahead and they wouldn't go as planned. The aviation industry is super unforeseeable in a way as well. So anything you write down the day before doesn't really matter today, does it? So it could look different, but the main goal is, of course, to help our customers, MROs, airlines, with the material that they require. We're lucky enough to have a lot of that. So makes it easier for us to assist everyone around us.
Good. In the past 12 months that you've been working with the company, what would you say has been kind of your key motivator? What have you enjoyed about being a part of, in a sales role, let's say?
I think what motivates me is the outcome, knowing you work so hard for an aircraft to go back into the skies. And that's funnily enough the aircrafts we take to visit customers or go to conferences. So it's a real life thing that you're working on and something that you step on at the same time in your monthly life. So it's quite insane to think about it that way. But what motivates me is definitely to help solve problems, and I like that it goes quick, that it's unforeseeable. It's that makes it more fun.
When you say unforeseeable, you mean that the industry's unpredictable? Okay, yes, correct, it is. Like I said earlier, every single day is different. You never know what the industry is going to hit you with. So, and yeah, it's definitely fun, and I'm glad to feel the past 12 months you have been enjoying it. I mean, you would never,
Definitely.
ever in a million years know that this world exists.
Definitely.
When you board a plane, when you're going on a flight on vacation, you don't think every single part of that aircraft and engine has been supplied by hundreds of companies.
Correct.
So you think, it's just the airline that's, built all the parts and put it all together. And so it's definitely an insight into a whole different world, being a part of the aviation industry.
Oh, definitely.
So Parisa, tell me a little bit about, your story. Where were you before Aeras? Where were you living in Dubai? What school did you go to? Kind of give us a little bit of insight as to how, we got here today.
Okay. So I was born and raised in the Netherlands, Rotterdam to be precise, if anyone knows. I finished my high school in the Netherlands, and then I moved to Dubai right after COVID, so 2020 July, first flight back to Dubai. Then I started my studies at Aeras Aviation University. I did the program Air Transport Management, which is a Bachelor of Science, and you really go in depth about the aircraft itself. So it motivated me a lot to work in the aviation industry later on as well, because I really, really enjoyed my time there. And then luckily enough, I joined Aeras Aviation to even go in more depth on the engines and sometimes the whole aircraft on itself. And once you kind of learn more about the engine, you actually want to learn more about the whole aircraft, to be honest. But
do you feel that your time at Emirates Aviation University has helped you navigate the role within Aeras Aviation?
In a way, yes. I feel like there's some stuff you read that you might not understand at first glance. And I think my studies helped me with that. In another way, also being in such an industry about the engines itself, there's also a lot of stuff you don't know.
Correct,
and I feel like until you enter the industry itself, you don't really understand until you learn on its own or while you're at the job. There's some stuff you just have to see before you understand, or you have to do a few certain type of steps. So I feel like, yes, in a way, but I think you learn way more once you actually start practicing.
Sure. Yeah, you have to have live examples to really kind of widen your knowledge on the industry. I mean, for Aeras, we are solely focusing on engines. So engine management, supporting airlines with their engine shop visits, but you have companies that are leasing whole engines. You've got people leasing aircrafts or selling landing gears or all of these different types of materials. And quite frankly, it would be impossible to know everything about, every sector of the industry. So, it's already kind of complicated enough within the area that we are working in, but it's very exciting. Like you said, that we are supporting these airlines worldwide with what they require, which is keeping the world moving. That's
Yeah.
how people travel, and we're,
Yeah.
we are contributing to that. So it's nice to feel part of a much bigger picture.
I agree. It's actually insane. That's the only word I can say, because sometimes I don't realize until I sit down. I'm like, whoa, this aircraft, like, you just don't know. Like, maybe it's one of our parts that's on it. But yeah, it's definitely keeps the world moving. It's a blessing. And I hope we all move to the customers we know with these airplanes.
Good. Okay, so new in the industry, you're a woman, as am I. How have you found being a female in such a male-dominated world?
Good question, because once I joined the office, I felt like this is such a female-dominated industry.
Correct.
Because we're primarily women in the office. But then once you start getting to know more people, you do find out that there's not that many of us. So once you do speak to a female, it's like, oh, hi, like it's exciting. And then when you meet them at a conference, even more exciting, because female to female, it's just...
Do you feel like you're drawn more to working with other ladies in the industry?
In a way, it's more exciting because you can speak like over the phone, not just about work, but once you become a bit closer, it's a nicer relationship to have.
And is that because it's just a bit more familiar, having a woman-to-woman relationship?
Yeah, definitely.
Well,
I feel like it's more familiar and more special once you meet women in the aviation industry.
For sure,
Yeah.
I always notice when I work with ladies slightly older than me, they might be already mums with children, teenagers, and they almost... you can tell that they really like to see young women, entering the industry and working and really trying to navigate the challenges of being kind of the smaller demographic.
Definitely. I also feel like I look up to, for example, like I look up to you as well, like with the knowledge and everything you do on a daily basis. It's like I wish to have the same knowledge and experience by that time as well. So it feels like whoever I meet who has like more knowledge and teaches me more about the aviation industry, I always feel like, oh, like it motivates me a bit more in a way. So it's quite exciting once I get one over the phone or I meet them in real life. But yeah, definitely a great motivation to keep going.
Okay, so we've talked a lot about Aeras, the industry, kind of what brought you to this point. What about in your personal life? How does life look for you outside of this crazy work life?
Not gonna lie, I sometimes love taking work home with me, so I sometimes do that. Like
correct answer.
So I keep my mornings quite free to do what I enjoy, which is going for a walk or going to the gym. Have a good breakfast to start the day right, because I feel like we're really blessed starting at 12 midday. So I think making use of your time before you step into the office is really important, to have a clear mind, know how the day is going to go. And then, once you get into the office,
Good.
just
You're
working.
ready to roll.
Yeah, I feel like it's important to not have like too much on your head before you walk in.
Yeah.
Just have a clean mind and take on as much as you can during the day instead of taking everything from yesterday to today. So the gym in the morning helps me with that. And then once we're done, I'm not gonna lie, then I wanna, sit at home, go for a little coffee. Like,
good.
Weather's getting nice, so it's a blessing now to go out. So Persia, it's time for me to ask a question back to you. How does your daily life look like as a director?
Oh, well, I probably work as soon as my eyes open in the morning.
I can confirm.
But to try and have a healthy work-life balance, gym is number one to start the day, and in the week just relax. We cannot have late nights when I'm trying to focus. There's just too much to do. And working in international trade, you know that this industry never sleeps. So
Yeah.
I try my best to have peace and quiet when I leave the office, but it's very, very tempting to always just be checking the phone and getting things done. But, you know, gym, try and keep a healthy lifestyle, maybe a little bit of fun now and again.
I guess
to survive.
No, yeah. I also think that's important. Like
For sure. We work hard, so we need to enjoy ourselves as well. But
I agree, yeah.
But yeah. Well, Parisa, thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate your time. It's been great to chat. It's just like being in the office.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, having a little coffee. So it's nice to hear, you know, more a bit about your background and how you're enjoying the work. And, you know, you said, you know, you wish you could get to the knowledge that I have. And, you know, as the years go by, you're only going to gain more and more. So, you know, stick to it and we'll see what happens. All right. Thank you.
It was an honor. Thank you.
Thank you.